Hey, I'm Mann. I am the co-founder of the Football Blacklist and a sports consultant, and you're watching Factory 78. I mean, first of all, it was a brilliant tour. I love that my handshake was rejected, but it was offered a fist of respect. And
I didn't get it myself. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it was a real introduction to somebody, because if you think about it, it's difficult to have the confidence to actually say, oh, actually, I'd prefer not to shake your hand. I'd prefer to give you a touch of respect. So actually, that in itself told me about the journey of that individual to getting to a place where they have the confidence to do that, and to do that in a way that shows respect, and to do that in a way that tells me something about that person. So I had a really positive introduction to them, and they clearly showed a lot of care in how they delivered. There was a lot of detail in how they showed me around everything. So I felt that they really cared about what they were doing, and that came across. So I felt cared for, and I felt welcomed, and I felt respected. And I think without knowing about the journey of that particular person, it showed me the impact of the work that's going on here. And while it was interesting to take in all the detail and understand about the things that were being done here, actually the way that I will feel leaving here is the big thing that will have an impact on me. How did I feel when I came to this place? That's what I will remember. I won't remember all the details about all the things going on, because there's a lot going on here, but I will remember how I was made to feel, and I think that's really important. I think these services are just so important, and I think often we talk about mental health from a negative lens.
Okay.
So first of all, I firmly believe everybody in this world has mental health. We all have mental health. In terms of have physical health, we have mental health, right? So we have to manage that. So physically, I will go and play football, I will go to the gym, I will go for a run, I will go out in nature, etc., as things to physically help me. Now, if I think about the conversations I have on a day-to-day basis in society, we will talk about these things. We won't talk about what we do for our mental health. And actually, we only talk about mental health largely when we get to the point of crisis where there's some intervention that's needed. Yeah. You know, I have a mental health problem, I have a mental health issue, as opposed to what I would like to see more of is we are all managing our own respective mental health, and we are doing these things to make sure we're doing that as well as possible. Spending time outdoors, reading, spending time talking about interesting things. Therapy. I don't think therapy should be something that's an intervention for a problem. Therapy should be something that actually is helping us in our day-to-day lives. I'll be the first to say that I've used therapists before in my life, and it hasn't been because I've got to the point of crisis, but it's to be something that helps me to deliver things in my day-to-day life as a father, as a business person, as a campaigner, as well as possible. Why wouldn't you do that? But I think if you were to go into a school, for example, and say the word mental health, many of those young people would go, oh, but I've got nothing wrong with me. And I think that the real challenge for us was to be able to go into a school and go mental health and go, yes, I do exercise, I read, I go and spend time with my family members. That's the context that we need to talk about it. So that when we talk about mental illness or mental challenges...
What's the difference between...
I think there's a big difference. I think when you have a mental illness or a mental challenge, it is something that significantly impacts your way of life. Whereas I feel when you're talking about how you manage your mental health and your well-being, that's a day-to-day thing. What do I do first thing in the morning to ensure that I'm managing my mental health and my well-being? Well, actually, for me, it's to get outside. For me, it's walking my kids to school and spending time with them. And I think my life would be poorer if I was not doing that. So it's a conscious decision to do that. It's a conscious decision for me to go and play football and go to the gym, so I'm exercising at least 3 times a week. Now that's not just so I can maybe have my beach body for my family holiday. That's for my mental well-being and my health, because I know that during that period it releases endorphins, and that helps me to feel more positive about things. So, I think the difference between mental illness and mental health needs to be distinguished, and we need to talk more freely and openly to ensure that when we're talking about mental health, it's not a taboo subject.
Right.
When we talk about physical health, we celebrate it. I'm going to the gym, I'm going to, be healthier and stronger. That's the context that we've talked about things. But if I was to talk about I'm going to the gym to help with my mental health, I think there are still sections of society that would have a judgment of that and would assume that I am addressing a problem, when actually all I'm doing is I'm maintaining my own wellness and trying to bring as much positivity into my life as I can.